done. So now we've got interior designer Stacy Naquin here to show us how it's done. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. This is just a little project I wanted to do with y'all, and it doesn't matter if you're an amateur or a professional. By the end, we're all going to be professionals. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to start with 3 ribbons because I feel like hospitality, all those little details make your guests feel special. And so I wanted to use my interior design skills to show you how I layer ribbons for our gift wrap. So I like to start with 3 different colors. Okay, so we'll go pink, red, green, and I like to also mix patterns and layers, so don't be scared to mix things. There's no rules at all.
I'm scared, I gotta be honest.
Okay, so we are going to start with, I like starting with a tool because this is a way that's super cost effective. It'll make your ribbon stretch, and you can get this at any craft store. So what we're going to do, so take one of your ribbons, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to show you how to measure. So wrap this around your gift box one time. And then leave about this much. Okay. This is going to be our starting point.
You've already got me stumped.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right, now let's go ahead and cut that.
Thank you.
That's right up there?
Yes, that's great.
All right.
You're doing great. You're already halfway there.
Oh, wow. I can do it.
Okay.
All right. Look at that.
So you give this first ribbon a knot. Just one time.
Okay.
You can make a knot. Either way, it doesn't matter. Okay, then we're going to take our second ribbon. Let's get a different one.
Okay, want to
So
trade?
we want to
All right, let's trade.
mix a combination of solids and textures.
Okay.
And one of the things about layering textures is that you want to think about small, medium, and large scale. So your solids is a great starting point, and then your medium scale can be a stripe, it can be a polka dot, it can really be anything. So select something that's a little different from your original.
I'll go polka dot if I
You'll go
may.
Polka dot,
Yeah.
yes,
There you go.
he's
You want
not
the stripes?
afraid. There's
And I guess
no
I'll go with the
shame.
stripes.
No shame at all here. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is you're gonna make a bunny ear, like a little loop.
Okay.
I
Oh my
call it a
goodness.
bunny ear.
All right.
It's like you're teaching children.
Please treat me as such.
But y'all are adults. Okay, and then we're gonna make another bunny ear.
Okay.
And you wanna think about the size in relation to the package. So you don't want the bunny ears to be larger than your package. So you might wanna just kind of pull it maybe a little bit bigger, but that's how you sort of dry fit the ribbon. Okay, so you have 2 bunny ears. Okay, you got your bunny ear, and then
Mine don't look like yours, but I'm just going to go with it.
well, you can watch the reviews later.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right. Thank you.
keep your little tail out.
Okay.
Keep your tail out.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh dear, Carrie.
It's going to look great, though, no matter what.
This is going to be the man package.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just set that down, kind of hold it with your fingers, set that down right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, sort of place it there.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I know, you might need a second. Sometimes I use something weighted to cheat.
Good pro move there, folks.
Okay.
Pro move.
Okay, and then we're gonna take our third ribbon. So something a little different. If you have solids, get a texture. If you have a texture, get a solid. Okay, so we're going with the tool.
Yes.
Ooh, all right. Good choice
Okay.
for you. I'll go with this one.
Same thing. So we're gonna have 3 ribbons. So we're gonna make the bunny, whoop, I need a third.
Oh,
Let's
here you
see,
go.
your weight. Okay. All right, so we're gonna make this around the same size.
Okay.
Bunny ear,
Oh, we're not wrapping underneath. All right.
Bunny ear.
bunny ear. Okay, and then we are going to,
Ooh,
let's
scissors.
cut this guy.
How do I get the second bunny ear? There.
Okay.
Help me out here.
We'll keep you to cooking.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Got it.
Okay, so let's come around. All right, so you're gonna go, all right, bunny ear,
Yeah.
okay? And then our second bunny ear, okay? And then we're gonna cut this guy.
Yay.
We'll make it neat later. Okay, so
Okay.
hold that with your finger.
I guess I'll cut mine as well. Thank you.
All right, so now we'll place the 2 bunny ears on the package.
Okay.
And then take your first original ribbon that you tied around the package.
I see
And
where this
then
is
we're
going.
gonna make a knot with that guy.
Okay.
And then just
Oh,
tie it
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is something.
And then the last thing that we're gonna do is fluff that ribbon. So pull it apart, fluff the ribbon, make sure everything's nice and flat, and make sure all your little bunny ears are even. And then you might wanna just kind of tweak this. So this you can pull it if you feel like it's a little too long. You can adjust it. And then give us one more last tight double knot.
I don't think this can be improved at all. This is art right here.
Gorgeous. And then at the very end, we'll cut all of the strings exactly the same. And when we have time, we'll do these a lot neater, but just for show and tell. Okay, and then cut all those the same. I think yours looks better than mine.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Job security.
Oh. Okay, while we're cutting these ribbons, I know that you're kind of a pro at hosting, aren't you? What are your tips and tricks to be a good host this holiday season?
Well, when you're entertaining, you want to think about hospitality over entertaining. And what that means is that you think about people over showcasing. And so it doesn't matter about your home or where you live. Sometimes people get caught up in my home's not finished, but really you could have an empty box. And I like to, one of Maya Angelou's famous quotes is, people won't remember what you did, they won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. And so that's the main important thing, is that during the holidays, you're thinking about people and you're sharing the love, the joy, the peace of Christ, and that's what's most important, not all of the things and the presents and the ribbons. So no worries, we have you covered.
I've got a question with that, though. I've got kids, and when my son's friends roll through, it can seem like the house is just a mess. What happens when folks drop in unexpectedly? That causes some tension in the sort of entertaining sphere. What would you recommend in that situation?
Well, I like to say be prepared at a moment's notice, because you never know when someone's going to drop in. You never know when someone's going to need you, when someone's going through hardship. And so it's really important to be prepared for your guest. And one of the things that I like to do is always keep something in the refrigerator, in the freezer. Maybe it's an hors d'oeuvre or an appetizer, and a handful of drinks. So that way, if someone calls and says, oh, I'll be there in 10 minutes, you already have things that are prepared. You're not having to run to the grocery store.
Well, on the flip side of that, when it is a pre-planned sit-down type of meal, especially during the holidays, that's kind of intimidating for some people to host. What kind of advice can you give there to create, a successful and welcoming atmosphere for your guests?
So if you're planning to sit down, it's really important to set your table and do all of the decorating the day before, because, Murphy's Law, if it can't happen, it will happen, and it's going to happen on the day of your party. So I like to set my table the day before. Put out your plates, put out all of your knives and your silverware and all of those things the day before. And then the day of, you're not running around doing last minute things that should have been done the day before. The other tip I would have for a sit down is think about a question that you can engage your guest. Maybe it's, what is your favorite memory from the holidays, from your childhood? And so what I do is I have a notes section in my phone called questions. And just as I go along and think of just really thought-provoking questions, I add those to my phone. Or maybe you're at a dinner party and someone asks you a really great question. So I like to catalog those things so I have them handy.
That's dedication.
Indeed. So here's a scenario. You have, whether it's a couple or you have a whole house full of people coming, it feels like a countdown, and you're prioritizing, trying to get things ready. Maybe it's the food, maybe it's cleaning. What would be some of your top hacks to enjoy the holiday party as opposed to feel stressed about preparing for it?
So pro tip, and I've learned this, it's taken many of parties to learn this. So I have a handwritten, some people like their phones, I'm still a paper girl, clearly. I like to have a note that says the things that I need to do the week before. And so it's all of your grocery shopping, all of your things. And then this is vital. The day of the party, I start a countdown and I say 3 hours before, these are the things that I need to do. And then I start a 15-minute countdown. It's dedication, but it keeps you on task to know the things that you have to do. And I always think about your senses. And so maybe it's light a candle, 15 minutes before the guests get there, turn on music. And so all of those really important details that are going to make your clients and your guests feel relaxed. Some of those very important details you forget when you're running around, when you're stressed, when it's last minute. So my little timer countdown, that has been an invaluable tool.
Oh my gosh, candles really set the ambiance. I love candles. Okay, I have a few more questions for you, but first I noticed you brought some ornaments here as well. Is this for our presents?
So this is the last little thing that I like to do is, again, going back to those details, making your guests feel like all of those things that you thought of them, that you didn't just slap something together, that you were prepared. And so I like to just take ornaments. That's just a really simple way to add a little oomph to the end, like a little something.
Oh, this one's for me, yay.
So you take your ornament, and then you just take one of your ribbons, or maybe you can take a second ribbon, and you just want to add this to the gift wrap.
Okay.
Oh,
And
very nice.
so it just makes something really special, and it looks really great underneath the Christmas tree.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So I could just tie it.
You can just tie it. You can just tie it around, just make a knot, and it just hangs.
Oh my goodness.
Or you can take a separate ribbon.
Yeah.
You could even use little Christmas tree hooks. That's really easy because the wire bends, and so you can take the Christmas tree hook and just wrap it right around your gift.
Oh, that's smart.
You know what? I've never seen better.
Oh my goodness, look at that. How
Pretty
cute.
exciting.
Okay, I have a question, Stacy. We've been talking about hosting, but I also find that as a guest, sometimes I'm not too sure what the proper etiquette is when you're going to a Christmas party. I mean, what do I bring? Do I bring a bottle of wine? Do I bring something to share? When do I arrive? What's the etiquette there?
That's a great question. So whatever the arrival time says on the invitation, if you've ever hosted a party, you know that an insane amount of things get done the last 5 or 10 minutes before the party starts. And so if I arrive, I like to arrive early just in case, you never know. So when I arrive early, I like to either just sit in my car or I like to drive the block and just give my host time to prepare and do those last minute touches. So my biggest tip would be, please don't show up early. And then also RSVP, and that's really important. Let your host know as soon as possible if you will or won't make it, because that way they can prepare for the quantity of food and how many things to get. And lastly, your question, thank you, is, do I show up with something? Obviously, it's not necessary, but, whenever you bring something, it's just a great way to be generous and just to say thank you, because sometimes people don't stop and say thank you and realize the amount of time and energy and effort that you've put into the party. So I think it's just a really special touch. Maybe it is the bottle of wine, or maybe it's just like a nice box of chocolates. For the holidays, I think that the little Christmas trees, the rosemary Christmas trees, are a really great, inexpensive way to say thank you so much. And then you can use the fresh rosemary in some of your dishes too.
Any last tips that you have that maybe we hadn't thought of that those cards that you're gonna play?
Yeah, what is your one best piece of advice to our viewers out there?
The big shebang is people over performance. And at the end of the day, it's all about people. And I love to pray right before my guests arrive. And I just like to pray for peace and joy, because really all of those things are going to fade away. And people are the most important thing. And that should be our priority.
Absolutely. That's a really great piece of advice.
Indeed, beautiful tips, and
beautiful wrapping as well.
Yeah, this came out great, and putting people first, I think it's an important reminder about what the holiday spirit is all about. So Stacy Naquin here, interior designer, teaching us how to make beautiful gifts. I hope that everybody enjoyed that and can follow along at home. So.
That's right. Thank you, Stacy.
Great job, guys.
And coming up, Macron said